The truth about single men, dangerous and deadly. Hello everyone and welcome to One Mail. I want to talk about something that's been on many people's minds lately, single men. Many people seem to think that all single men are selfish and only care about themselves, but I'm here to tell you that that's not always the case. There are some really great guys out there who just haven't found the right person yet. So stay tuned, and I'll show you why being single isn't always a bad thing. Marriage has always been touted as the social norm, but is it all it's cracked up to be? For men, there are a number of downsides to being married. First, studies have shown that married men are more likely to suffer from health problems such as heart disease and high blood pressure. Furthermore, they are more likely to develop depression and other mental health issues. And if that wasn't enough, they also tend to earn less money and have less job satisfaction than their single counterparts. So next time you feel sorry for yourself because you're single, remember that you might be better off than your married friends. I'd like to share with you a recent experience while on a quest for self-improvement. Self-improvement is a subject that is very important to me. Recently, I decided that I wanted to improve my self-esteem. I had read a lot about the issue and felt that it was something I could work on. However, I was not sure how to go about it. I did some research and found a self-help book that looked promising. I started reading the book and doing the exercises. It was constructive, and I began to feel better about myself. After a few weeks, I decided to try something new. I started attending a self-improvement group. The group was led by a therapist and consisted of other people who were also trying to improve their self-esteem. The group was very supportive and helped me to see that I was not alone in my quest for self-improvement. It was a great experience, and I would recommend it to anyone looking for self-improvement. And I can confidently say that it has completely transformed my life, not only in my interactions with women but also with men. Concerning that, I was getting my hair cut recently when my barber, who also happens to be my gym buddy, informed me that he was getting married soon. I inquired about the big day. Also, I made the joke, "So don't do it." He then chuckles and says, "Thank you very much for your contribution. My mother used to tell me that women who didn't want children of their own were selfish, but she never suggested that men should feel the same way. She was telling me that she was okay with me dating and seeing women who wanted them." Her remarks were a passive-aggressive way of persuading me to procreate. In my mind, she elevated women who wished to bear to a higher status. She lowered the quality of the rest, and she was doing this. Before I married, I had always assumed I would have children one day. Only after I got married did I realize that my wife did not want children. At first, I was disappointed, but I soon realized that this could be a good thing. Without the pressure to have children, we could enjoy our marriage without worrying about the future. We could travel, pursue our careers, and generally live our lives without the responsibility of raising a family. In retrospect, I think marrying a woman who did not want children was the best decision I could have made. Not only did it allow us to have a more carefree lifestyle, but it also allowed me to avoid the potential stress of being a father. Looking back, I realize it was reverse psychology for me to marry a woman who wanted to have children, implying that a woman who did not wish to have children was toxic. The extra friend is telling you that you're selfish because he's getting married and is probably caught up in romantic love, which has the added benefit of transforming him into a white knight. It's no secret that romantic love can often lead to men becoming tools for women. Whether it's being told what to wear, how to style their hair, or what hobbies they should pursue, it's not uncommon for men to take on the role of a woman's project. And while there's nothing wrong with a little harmless direction from time to time, this type of behavior often crosses the line into manipulative control. If you find yourself in a relationship where you feel like you're constantly being used as a tool to satisfy your partner's needs and wants, it might be time to reassess things. After all, true romantic love should be about equality, respect, and support, not one person trying to control and change the other. If you're not careful, you could lose yourself entirely in the process. So ask yourself, is this the kind of love you want? Get married, have a lot of children, and then give up on your dreams, become depressed, and join the rest of the crowd who believes that misery loves company. There is no denying that marriage is a beautiful institution. For many people, it is a symbol of love and commitment. However, there are also a number of downsides to marriage that should not be ignored. First and foremost, marriage can be costly. The average wedding in the United States costs around $30,000. That is a lot of money to spend on one day, especially when there is no guarantee that the marriage will last. In addition, married couples often have less free time and fewer opportunities to travel and meet new people. For many people, these drawbacks outweigh the benefits of marriage. As a result, they choose to remain single. While there is nothing wrong with this decision, it is essential to remember that marriage has pros and cons. Ultimately, whether or not to marry should be made based on what will make the individual happy. There are many reasons why people choose not to get married. For some, the drawbacks of marriage outweigh the benefits. They may believe marriage is a trap that confines them to a life of unhappiness and servitude. or they may simply prefer the freedom and flexibility of being single. Whatever the reason, marriage has some clear downsides that need to be considered before taking the plunge. For one, marriage generally means giving up a lot of personal freedom. You may have to live in a specific location or give up your hobbies and interests to accommodate your spouse. You may also have to deal with in-laws or other family members with whom you don't necessarily get along. In addition, marriage usually entails a significant financial commitment. Not only do you have to pay for the wedding itself, but you may also have to support your spouse financially if they are unable or unwilling to work. Finally, there is always the possibility of divorce, which can be both emotionally and economically devastating. Of course, there are also some upsides to marriage. If you find the right person, you can enjoy companionship, love, and support for the rest of your life. Marriage can also provide financial stability, security, and legal benefits such as inheritance rights and joint ownership of property. As I always emphasize, before getting married, it's essential to be aware of the potential downsides of the institution. For one, you may fall into the same traps as your parents or grandparents. This can lead to a feeling of solidarity with them as if their lives weren't any different from yours. Additionally, marriage can be expensive and time-consuming, and it's not always easy to maintain a healthy relationship. If you're not careful, you may be stuck in an unhappy or abusive marriage. Before taking the plunge, carefully weigh the pros and cons. To say that single men aren't selfless is to ignore that many of the men I know would gladly give their shirts off to help those they care about, which is not the best way to approach the subject. There are a lot of misconceptions about being single. People often assume that single people are selfish because they don't want to be in a committed relationship. However, this is not necessarily true. While some people enjoy their freedom and don't want to be tied down, others may want to be in a relationship but haven't yet found the right person. Many people have been hurt by previous relationships and don't want to endure that again. Whatever the reason, being single doesn't mean that someone is selfish. In fact, valuing your independence and freedom can be very positive. It allows you to focus on your happiness and well-being without worrying about meeting someone else's needs. There are plenty of reasons to admire men who are single and choose to focus on improving themselves. For one, these men are less likely to experience the downsides of marriage, such as financial difficulties, infidelity, and divorce. They also have more time to invest in their personal growth and development. Moreover, single men are typically more independent and self-sufficient than married men, which can be a beautiful quality. Of course, there are also some drawbacks to being single. For example, single men may miss out on the companionship and support that a spouse can provide. They also may not have someone to help them with domestic tasks or child rearing. However, these drawbacks outweigh the many benefits of being single and focusing on self-improvement. In short, I believe every man should aspire to be independent and self-sufficient. Single men who improve themselves also tend to improve the lives of those around them. They are more likely to invest in their education and career, leading to higher incomes and better job opportunities. They are also more likely to live healthier lifestyles, which can positively impact friends and family members. In addition, they are more likely to be involved in their communities and to volunteer their time to good causes. As more men remain single, society will continue to benefit from their positive contributions. Also, I know that breaking up is never an easy decision, but sometimes it's necessary for both parties involved. I have a video where I discuss the signs showing whether your relationship is worth saving. So if you're on the fence about whether or not to break up, stick around and check my latest video. It might help you make a decision.